in the United States District Court for the Western District of Missouri, Central Division. Nathan RINNE, Plaintiff versus Case No. 221 CV04076 NDH. Camden County, et al. Defendants. Order. Before the court is plaintiff's motion for preliminary injunction. Plaintiff moves the court to enter a preliminary injunction prohibiting enforcement of Camden County's ban of plaintiff from all county property for displaying disruptive conduct and harassment conduct. Plaintiff moves the court for an injunction in order to prevent irreparable harm to plaintiff until conclusion of this lawsuit. On October 12, 2021, the court held a hearing on plaintiff's motion for preliminary injunction. Plaintiff concluded his evidence on October 12, 2021, and the hearing was continued. On November 3, 2021, the court continued the hearing by telephone. Defendants submitted their evidence by stipulation and rested. No further evidence was presented. The parties presented closing arguments and then subsequently filed post-hearing briefs. The motion is now ripe for review. Background. Plaintiff, Nathan RINNE, is a citizen of Camden County and a prolific blogger who frequently comments on controversial topics relating to Camden County government and politics. RINNE has many followers and is influential with at least some county residents. He is a member of Citizens for a Better Camden County. RINNE also appears at public meetings and forums and expresses his opinions, which are often critical of public officials including county commissioners Hasty and Williams. RINNE has been especially critical of the county commission's decision to purchase a building, now used as an annex, from County Attorney Magalia and the county's actions on an issue referred to as Gravel Gate, where it is alleged the county road was improperly added to the county's CRT map in order to try to assist a significant campaign contributor in pending litigation over a land and road dispute. RINNE has also been critical of several other decisions of the Commission, including issues related to employee health insurance, budgeting, and a lodging tax increase. In 2020, RINNE ran for county commissioner against the incumbent Commissioner Williams, but was defeated in the August primary. RINNE's friend and political ally, Commissioner Gohagan, however, was successfully elected to a seat on the commission, defeating a longtime incumbent. Commissioner Gohagan took office in January 2021. RINNE has been critical of the way Commissioner Gohagan has been treated by fellow commissioners Hasty and Williams, and other county employees since he took office. On March 2, 2021, the commission voted in a closed meeting by a 2-1 vote to ban RINNE from all county property for 1 year. Commissioners Hasty and Williams voted in favor of the ban and Commissioner Gohagan against. It is not clear why the vote took place in a closed meeting, nor what advance notice the commissioners had that the matter would be considered. The only evidence a ban was adopted was the oral testimony of Commissioner Gohagan and a letter subsequently mailed to RINNE from Commissioner Hasty. RINNE was not advised in advance that the ban was being considered and was not afforded any opportunity to appear at any commission meeting to express his opposition to the ban. The ban applies to all county property, including the 3 old courthouse, which offices multiple county offices, the annex which houses the commission offices, the courts building, the county library, and all county parks. Council even inferred it applied to county roadways. The ban was initially communicated to RINNE informally by someone he saw in the courthouse, but ultimately was described in a letter he received. The letter states, "Dear Mr. RINNE, on March 2, 2021, the Camden County Commission voted to ban you from Camden County property for 1 year from March 2, 2021 for disruptive conduct and harassment conduct of county elective officials and employees. If you are found to be on Camden County property during this one-year period, law enforcement officers will be instructed to remove and escort you from the property. The letter was signed by Greg Hasty, Presiding Commissioner. The county has cited to several instances for which it based its decision to issue the ban. The most serious allegation is a claim RINNE threatened to bomb the courthouse. The county's allegations in support of the ban are set forth in an affidavit signed by Presiding Commissioner Hasty. Hasty's affidavit, signed under oath, states the following, in part, about RINNE. He has been disruptive by acting out of order during several Camden County Commission meetings in 2020. Camden County Commissioner James Gohagan contacted me and informed me that Nathan RINNE made a threat to either blow up or shoot up the Camden County Courthouse on January 6, 2021. RINNE was present outside the back door of the Camden County Commission's office around 5 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. I informed them that I did not know the answer to any question he was asking and continued to walk to my vehicle on January 7, 20,201. Between 3 p.m. and 4:30 p.m., I was speaking to the Human Resources Director for Camden County. When she described to me a situation she observed from her office window in the parking lot of what appeared to be a verbal dispute between Nathan RINNE and a member of the maintenance staff for Camden County within the last month. The Camden County Commission's secretary informed me that she received a phone call informing her there was an individual who was attempting to obtain a firearm to shoot me. I had serious concerns regarding disruption, harassment, and safety. At the time I voted for the ban at issue in this matter. During the hearing on this motion, Commissioner Hasty did not testify. Commissioner Gohagan testified and denied telling Commissioner Hasty that RINNE threatened to blow up the courthouse. Commissioner Gohagan further denied RINNE made such a threat or statement to him. RINNE also testified and denied making any threat of violence. There was no other testimony regarding the claim that RINNE made a threat to blow up or shoot up the courthouse or that Commissioner Gohagan made any such statement. Quoting RINNE, a former captain of the Camden County Sheriff's Department, Chris Twitchell, testified during the hearing. Twitchell has been the subject of several critical posts from RINNE. Twitchell testified that he personally saw a post from RINNE threatening to bomb a cell phone tower that was posted on Facebook. This alleged incident did not have a specific date but occurred, at a minimum, several months before the commission voted to ban RINNE. Twitchell testified Gohagan told him he was concerned about a post that RINNE had made mentioning cell towers and bombs. Twitchell states in response to this report he found a post from RINNE. However, Twitchell testified that there was no police report made of the alleged post and no further follow-up or investigation was done by law enforcement. In addition, Twitchell stated he did not have a copy of the post and that it had since been taken down. There was no other testimony or evidence of this alleged post. RINNE testified that he never posted the alleged threat, and Gohagan testified he never made a report or statement to Twitchell of this alleged post. Defendants also allege plaintiff has engaged in disruptive behavior at commission meetings by acting out of order, elevating his voice, attending in disguise, and misidentifying himself. There was evidence of one county commission meeting, which was shown by video, where the commissioners were discussing an issue regarding employee health insurance. During this meeting RINNE spoke out in opposition. Presiding Commissioner Hasty told RINNE he was out of order. RINNE remained silent for the rest of the meeting. He was not thrown out of the meeting. On another occasion, RINNE spoke out during a county commission meeting and observed that Hasty looked mad. RINNE commented that Hasty was mad, and in response Hasty stated, "Yeah, because you get on Facebook every night and make comments about people." Another video reflected a county commission budget hearing in which RINNE appeared and testified using a parody and fictional characterization making light of some of the budget-saving ideas that had been proposed by a county officer. The character proposed several budget-saving ideas for the county, all of which were on their face laughable. RINNE described his conduct as an effort to make his political point through humor. The evidence submitted to the court establishes that RINNE was never asked to leave a commission meeting and was only called out of order on the one occasion. In addition, in support of the county's ban, the county alleges that RINNE confronted Hasty in a hostile or threatening manner outside the county annex. The evidence and testimony regarding this interaction was that upon Commissioner Gohagan's invitation, RINNE and several other Gohagan supporters toured the Mikalia building. The county claims it was an unauthorized tour of the building because the building was still under remodeling. The county also contends that the tour was after hours and at a time when the building was not open to the public. However, Commissioner Gohagan was present and had invited his friends on the tour. Commissioner Hasty's affidavit states that when he left the building for the day, he was confronted by RINNE about the building. RINNE testified that he simply asked Commissioner Hasty a question about a particular part of the building and whether it was new. RINNE testified Commissioner Hasty responded that he didn't know the answer and continued walking to his car and didn't stop. Several of Commissioner Gohagan's other supporters were also outside the annex at the time and observed this interaction. Their testimony supported RINNE's testimony of the interaction. Again, Commissioner Hasty did not testify. Later that evening, RINNE posted on his Facebook page photos and videos of the Mikalia building, which had been taken by another person on the tour. The post placed the building, and thus the decision to purchase the building, in a bad light, raising concerns regarding the purchase of the building due to the involvement of attorney Mikalia and the condition of the building in light of the purchase price. The next morning, on January 7, 2021, when Commissioner Gohagan arrived at the annex for work, he was confronted by his fellow commissioners and several angry maintenance workers who were upset by RINNE's Facebook post. The maintenance workers expressed the belief that RINNE's post about the annex were misguided, unfair, uninformed, and placed them in a bad light since they had been working on the building. One employee in particular, Dean Duran, was very angry and threatened to physically harm Commissioner Gohagan. Duran also demanded Commissioner Gohagan to have RINNE come down to the annex so they could confront him directly. Commissioner Gohagan testified during this interaction he was being blocked from entering his office. He contends his fellow commissioners were complicit in the criticism and failed to intervene against the threats of violence. He testified his fellow commissioners simply stated he brought the problems upon himself. Ultimately, the sheriff's office was called and upon their arrival, tempers calmed and the situation was diffused. Commissioner Gohagan called RINNE immediately about the incident, but RINNE was on a job site 30 minutes away. Later the same afternoon, RINNE arrived at the annex to check on Commissioner Gohagan. RINNE was met in the parking lot by another friend who had stopped by to do the same thing and was told Gohagan had left for the day. While talking to his friends in the parking lot, Duran pulled in and parked by RINNE. Duran had left for the day but came back after seeing RINNE. He testified purportedly came back after leaving to look for a speaker he claimed to have left at work. From the video presented, and the testimony given, harsh and angry words were exchanged between the worker and RINNE. No punches were thrown and no physical blows of any kind were exchanged or attempted. A sheriff's vehicle appears in the video and stops to check on the men. RINNE and Duran went their own way without further incident. Duran testified he left the encounter without any fear of injury or physical retaliation from RINNE. There was no evidence of any further confrontation between RINNE and Duran or any other county employee. Duran testified he was disciplined for the incident involving Commissioner Gohagan, but was not sent home that day and did not lose his job because of his actions that day. That night, RINNE posted on his private Facebook page his concern for the safety of Commissioner Gohagan and reported that his safety was threatened. On or about December 10, 2020, RINNE posted in a private Facebook group about the grading and graveling of a road on private property without the landowner's knowledge or permission. This incident has become known as Gravelgate. RINNE alleges the Lake News Online subsequently ran a report on these events based on RINNE's posts and comments. On December 17, 2020, the issue was discussed at a commission meeting. During the meeting it was stated that Gary Webster, a former longtime road and bridge administrator, confirmed that the 8th road at issue was previously maintained by the county. RINNE investigated this allegation and interviewed Webster and posted clips of the interview on Facebook. RINNE posted that Webster had not been contacted until after the private road was graded and graveled and that Webster told Commission it was a private, not public, road. On February 25, 2021, RINNE blogged on the issue of Gravelgate and tagged county employee Mike Lloyd alleging information had been changed in the mapping system. RINNE claimed Lloyd had changed county records to favor a commissioner's political contributor with regard to a dispute over a new landowner's driveway access. Specifically, RINNE posted allegations that Commissioner Williams took a donation from one of the landowners and the disputee then Commissioner Hasty repaid the favor by putting gravel and grading on the property. The blog placed the commissioners in a bad light and accused the county employee of changing records. 1 week later, on March 2, 2021, the ban was put in place by the votes of Commissioner Hasty and Commissioner Williams. Plaintiff alleges he received this letter toward the end of March 2021. Discussion in analyzing a preliminary injunction, the court must weigh the following 4 factors. The probability that movement will succeed on the merits. The threat of irreparable harm to the movement absent the injunction. The balance between the threatened harm to the movement and the harm the injunction would inflict on other interested parties. And the public interest. Dataphase Sys. Inc. v. CL Syst. Inc. 640 F.2D 109, 114. No single factor is dispositive. Rather, all the factors must be considered to determine whether on balance they weigh towards granting the injunction. Calvin Klein Cosmetics Corporation v. Lennox Labs. Inc. 815 F.2D 500. 503 1. First, the court not only finds plaintiff is likely to succeed, but that from the evidence presented thus far the ban was instituted in retaliation for, and as a direct result of, plaintiff's exercise of First Amendment rights. RINNE's conduct, as alleged by defendants to be the basis for the ban, did not even remotely approach actions which would justify infringement of his rights to participate in public affairs, visit public property, and enjoy the basic rights of citizenship that were directly impacted by the ban. Further, the court finds the ban chilled plaintiff's ability to exercise his First Amendment rights under the Constitution. It impacted his ability to attend public meetings, meet with public officials, attend court proceedings, visit the public library, and enjoy associations in county parks. It placed him at risk of criminal prosecution for performing his rights as a citizen, including voting, paying taxes in public, or inquiring into public records. Further, while true that on at least one occasion RINNE intentionally violated the ban in order to cast a ballot in a local election, and in doing so was not forcibly removed from county property, county officials have apparently inquired into possible criminal charges against him by pursuing a search warrant and retaining a special prosecutor. It appears these actions were taken after Commissioner Hasty specifically encouraged local officials to pursue trespassing charges. Defendants' contention that the ban was justified by RINNE's threats and harassment of county employees is not supported by the evidence. Defendants cite only 2 instances of alleged threatening behavior. The first instance involved Commissioner Hasty as he left the McAlea Annex. However, RINNE's testimony that the interaction was not threatening was confirmed by several other witnesses, and defendants provided no evidence, other than Commissioner Hasty's affidavit filed in opposition to the motion, To support their claim, RINNE threatened or intimidated Hasty. Hasty did not testify during the hearing, and defendants called no witness to support this allegation or to contradict RINNE and the other witnesses' testimony. The second incident involved a heated exchange between RINNE and the county's maintenance worker, Dean Duran. Duran testified he was angry at RINNE over a blog post pertaining to the McAleer building. Duran felt RINNE's post was disrespectful of his work. In response to the post, Duran first threatened to physically assault Gohagon and wanted Gohagon to summon RINNE to the office so that he and his co-workers could confront him. Later that day, Duran confronted RINNE in the parking lot. The court finds Duran was the aggressor in the conversation with RINNE. He returned to the courthouse when he saw RINNE park next to him and then moved toward RINNE after exiting his car. There is no evidence that RINNE threatened or engaged in any type of violence toward Commissioner Hasty, Duran, or any county employee. It is noteworthy these alleged incidents of threatening and harassing behavior occurred the first week of January, but the ban was not instituted until March. However, the court notes that RINNE's Gravelgate blog post was dated the week before Theban. It is unclear what defendants refer to as harassment, but to the extent their definition includes blog posts, public criticisms, peaceful efforts to oppose county policy, or the expression of critical facts or opinions, any such speech would be protected and not a valid basis for the ban. It is no different than what elected officials face on a daily basis across the country. Citizens are free to criticize elected officials. While RINNE's appearance at the budget meeting attempting humor was more lame than funny, it certainly was not impermissible harassment and definitely not threatening. Defendants argue RINNE cannot show irreparable harm because he did not suffer punitive action when he intentionally violated the ban by entering county property to cast his vote. This argument overlooks the chilling impact the ban has had on RINNE. The evidence indicates RINNE has attended fewer commission meetings and even then was only allowed to participate via phone and not in person.